So guys, with rearranging, this is from 20... What do you got? Alright, so this is from the 2016 exam paper. This was a merit question. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is, I'm going to pause the video here, but I'm going to get you guys to do this question by yourself. Alright, see how far you can actually do this question. I'll go through the answers, and then I'm going to give you a parallel question. So that means another question like this, but with some different numbers and different letters, okay? I'm going to go through the answer for this one. Basically, they're asking for x by itself, and I've got a fraction here. I need to get rid of the fractions. I need to get rid of the 5 and 2 first. Now, because I got one fraction equals another fraction, what I could do is I could actually cross multiply. So when I cross multiply, I got 4x times 2. That's going to be 8x equals 5y x plus 3. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to get what happened here. No, that's all right. Must have messed up something then. All good. Oh, I know what happened. I think I pressed the keyboard. Okay, so rearrange it. So I've got 8x minus 5xy equals 15y. Yeah, is that all right so far? And then x is a common factor. So I can take out x as a common factor, and I get 8 minus 5y equals 15y. And because I want to have x by itself, this can be written as x equals 15y divided by 8 minus 5y. Okay? That ends up being a merit question. Now, do you want another one like this? This kind of style? How many of you got this question? Yeah, we're going to do another one of this. All right, guys, try this question here. Is it too thin or do you want a bit more thicker? Okay, let's try that again. So I want you guys to rearrange. So x is by itself. You got 3 over x plus 2 equals a. 3 times x plus y. I want you guys to rearrange this. So x is by itself. Guys, so as usual, we got a fraction. So we're going to cross multiply this. When we cross multiply it, we've got 3 multiplied by 3 x plus y equals a times x plus 2. So we've got 3 times 3, which is 9. So we've got 9x plus y. And here I've got a times x, which is ax, a times 2, which is 2a. Got to expand this brackets here as well. So I've got 9x plus 9y equals ax plus 2a. And then I need to rearrange it. So I've got 9x minus ax equals 2a minus 9y. And then x is a common factor, so I can take it out, which means I've got 9 minus a. And then I've got 2a minus 9y here. So then I can say x is equal to 2a minus 9y divided by 9 minus a. Maybe I should have chosen a different letter instead of a. Is that all right? Yeah? So that would be another merit question here. Just in terms of, just to see what you could get achieved for. So guys, this was the previous question we were having a look at. Now it says to get and achieve terms involving x collected to one side. So even if you did it up to this third line here, you could still get an achieved for it, even if you bring all the x's to one side. Okay? All right, the next question. So guys, this is from 2015. And this is actually an excellence question. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a hint. All right. This question here, you got to use logs because it's asking for x as the subject, but you got to use logs. That's all I'm going to tell you. Have a go, and I've got 2 more questions like this that I'm going to pull out for you guys to try and do. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a bit of a hint. 2 hints I'm going to give you, all right? Now, I know you're all looking for your log formula in your formula sheet, but look at this, all right? The clue is this. If you have something like this, x to the power of n, you can take log of x to the power of n, and the clue that I'm going to give you guys is this. If you have log to the x to the power of n, this could be written as n log x. That's the clue I'm going to give you guys for this question. The reason I gave you guys that clue is because that's what you need to do to bring the 2x power to ground level. Right now it's in the power level, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this as log a 2x equals log b x plus 1. Yeah? Everybody did this? Multiplies by indices. Okay, so cool. So to get achieved, if you do this, you actually can get an achieved. 2x log a equals x plus 1 times log b. Takes logs of both sides and multiplies by indices. Yes, that's achieved. Takes logs of both sides and rearranges. Okay, now here's the thing though. How are we going to get rid of that right-hand side? See how there's an x plus 1? There's a particular reason why I put it in a bracket. Most of you guys did not put the bracket, am I correct? Because then that would actually be the wrong notation, the way you're writing it. So it's important that you put that brackets, and I'm going to be harsh. I probably won't give you an achieved if you just put x plus 1. I would have loved to see the brackets in there. Because by putting in the brackets, what you're doing is you can actually expand this out. Then you end up with 2x log a equals x log b plus log b. Because you're expanding the brackets. Does that make sense? Yeah? Then you can rearrange, bring all the x's to one side. So you get 2x log a minus x log b equals log b. Is that all right? I believe you guys know what to do from here. Because you got x as a common factor, you can take it out. So if you take out x as a common factor, you got 2 log a minus log b equals log b. And then x would simply be log b divided by 2 log a minus log b. Parallel question? Similar question like this? Okay. What did we do this time? Any questions on this? Does that seem all right, guys? Okay, you guys try this question here. So make x the subject. And we're going to do, what do we do it? Let's make it a bit more complicated, shall we? Not a. Sorry, I'm just going to put that x minus 1 and then n to the power of 3x. Why don't you guys try that? Shouldn't take you too long, guys. I've just given you guys the same type of question, different numbers. Have a go. So what I would have done is I would have taken logs of both sides. I've got log m x minus 1, log n of 3x. Put the powers in front. I got x minus 1 log m equals 3x log n. So the next part is I need to expand this brackets. So I've got x log m minus 1 log m equals 3x log n. Rearrange. So I've got x log m minus 3x log n equals log m. Okay? Now I got x as a common factor, so I can take it out, and I've got log m minus 3 log n equals log n. And then I can say x is equal to log n divided by log m minus 3 log n. Have I made a mistake? Where? Ah, damn it. Thanks for telling me. Wait, you mean what? What? Wait.
On the side.
Oh, here, this one.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Thank you. Is that all right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, what if we don't take the negative log n on the right hand side? Take x log n on the right hand side.
Then you would end up with negative x log m?
Yeah.
Yep, I think it should still work out. So you're thinking like this, right? So let me just get it right. So you did from here, this step, you went negative log m equals 3x negative x log m.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine as well, because then you can get x, you get 3 log n, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that should be fine, guys, because what happens is you end up with 3 log n minus. Yeah, it's still the same answer. Because on this one, you've actually got negative at the top. So notice the denominator symbols have changed for both sides. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. It's still the same answer. Okay? Cool. The next question is actually from last year, which is actually one of my favorite questions. But has this one... Okay, try this one here. And again, you guys already know how to do this question because so far you've done everything that you need to know. The only clue that I'm going to give you is that 81 and 243 is related somehow. So yeah, that entire bracket is the power in this case, okay? The first method that I'm going to talk about is, and I talked about using the same basis. The reason I use the same basis because then you don't have to actually worry about logs, okay? Because I know that 81 is 3 to the power of 4. And I also know that 243 is 3 to the power of 5, okay? So what I can do is I can replace 81 with 3 to the power of 4 px over q minus 3, and then 243 I can replace with 3 to the power of 5. Okay, this is the first step. I'm going to show you guys how to do this, because eventually the problem will become, it doesn't matter which way you take, it'll end up with the same kind of ideas. So in this case, because the bases are the same, I could actually say the powers must equal each other because the bases are the same. So then I've got 4 times px over q minus 3 equals 5. When I rearrange this, I'm going to get px over q minus 3 equals 5 over 4. I can get rid of the 3, so I've got px over q equals 5 over 4 plus 3. Okay, which I can do in the calculator because that's going to be 12 over 4. So what ends up happening is I've got px over q equals 17 over 4. Is that okay so far? Let me just double check that. Yeah, that looks good. So at this point, I just have to cross multiply the p and q. So I've got x equals q times 17, which is 17q. Wait, am I doing p or x? Make p the subject, okay? Let's leave rid of that x. Leave the p there. And then multiply the x with the denominator. So I've got 4x. Okay? Now, that's one way of doing this. If you guys decided to do the log method would still look like this. You'd have log 81 px over q minus 3 equals log 243. Then I can bring the power up front. So I've got px over q minus 3 in a bracket. Log 81 equals log 243. And then my next step would be px over q minus 3 equals log 243 divided by log 81. Now here's the thing though. If I do log 243 divided by log 81, I get 1.25 or 5 over 4. So basically what's happening is I've done all that extra work to get to the second line in the previous one. Well, you're just making more work for yourself, aren't you? It should still be the same thing, because look, if I was to do it like that, I would get 4px q minus 12 equals to 5. Then if I take the negative 12 to the other side, it becomes plus 12, so it becomes 17. And then cross multiply q, so I get 4px equals 17q. And then because I want p by itself, it'll be 17q divided by 4x. So again, same answer. So many different ways of doing this. Okay? Another parallel question like this? Are you happy with this? One more. Okay. All right, guys. Last question for the day today. Can you guys try this rearranging? Actually, no, I don't want you guys to make p the subject. I actually want you guys to make x the subject. Okay? You're making x the subject. Last question for the day. You guys actually did this. How many of you did it with the same basis? Logs? Anyone with logs? Okay, I'm going to try and do basis first, because 32 could be written as 2 to the power of 5. 64 could be written as 2 to the power of 6. So then I've got 2 to the power of 5 px equals 2 to the power of 6. 2 minus x. I actually think this is a freaking too easy of a question. I think this is probably not even a merit. Anyway, let's just do it anyway. Oh, no, actually, no, it's a rearranging question. It is picking it up live. Oh, that's not too bad. That's quite nice. Okay, Naomi, with your link, does that do live as well, or? Okay, try reopening it and just see what happens. So now that the powers are equal to each other, so we've got 5px equals 6 times 2 minus x. So we've got 5px equals 12 minus 6x. Rearrange it. You got 5px plus 6x equals 12. X is a common factor. 5p plus 6 equals 12. And then x is equal to 12 divided by 5p plus 6. All right? That's with basis. If you're doing logs, still going to be the same thing. But I think it's going to be a little bit more work with logs though. But I'll show you guys. So you got log. So this would be log 32 px log 64 2 minus x. So you got px log 32. Man, that is a lot of work. Or maybe not, because you're still going to end up with this. Px is equal to 2 minus x log 64 divided by log 32. And if I do that on the calculator, so I got log 64 6 over 5. So I've got px equals 2 minus x 6 over 5. And it pretty much, guys, it's the same thing, because I can cross multiply the 5 and I get 5px equals 2 minus x times 6. And I think that ends up to that line there. So if you are using logs, you've got almost 5 or 6 extra lines of working that you might need to do. So always look at the question, see whether you can actually write it with the same basis before you decide to go along the log path. Okay, so what I'll do is I will share this video with you guys and the notebook with you guys as well. So if you want to go through and look at it again, you can. And I will do this pretty much for every session from this today onwards, leading up to 3 weeks' time. Yeah.
Is it possible to integrate your voice recording on the OneNote?
Yes, it is, but it's too much work right now for me to learn.